Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to our elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all the brothers pushing this work in sincerity and truth. It's your brother Tamayan from GMS Toronto, coming at you with another video. Today's video I'm going to be talking about Barack Obama and what he said about the angels. Okay? They call them UFOs, which, you know, he's trying to be coy and trying to act as if he doesn't know what's going on. Okay? Or we have footages. Oh, of course you have footages. You have millions of footages. And you've seen what they look like, and you know what's in them. Okay? And now you guys have to bring it out because people are actually seeing them. So you have to bring out the truth, because these are not the days where there wasn't any cameras around, where Edomites were telling you they're getting abducted and getting beat up, and you're denying the fact that there are angels out there abducting people, beating up Esau. What about that Jake in Puerto Rico that got abducted, and y'all made him say they were black but not Negro black? Remember that? Anyways, let's go and see what this Fruit Loop Barack Obama had to say about the angels.
When it comes to aliens, there are some things I just can't tell you on air.
I know that doesn't necessarily mean aliens. It is just a UAF. But I was wondering if you have a theory about that.
When I came into office, I asked, right? I was like, all right, is there the lab somewhere where we're keeping the alien specimens in spaceship? They did a little bit of research, and the answer was no. There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory. People still take seriously trying to investigate and figure out what that is. But I have nothing to report to you today.
Okay, that's what that guy said. Right? So, you know, these Edomites, they have a lot of things to worry about. They have to worry about the angels. They have to worry about World War III. They have to worry about the race wars that's coming. You know, they have to worry about so many things. But that's how you know this kingdom is done, because the Lord, whenever there's a kingdom about to go out, right? When there's a great reset, the angels are always present or prominent. Okay? So just like in Egypt, when that place was about to be destroyed, the angels were there. Sodom and Gomorrah, the angels were there. Right? The angels came to our forefather Abraham. Isaiah 31:5-7. As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it. And passing over, he will preserve it. Right? Let me read everything. Turn ye unto him, from whom the children of Israel have deeply revolted. So Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, that's who we revolted against. For in that day every man shall cast away his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which your own hands have made unto you for our sin. That's the elect is going to do that. These other people are going to be casting their idols away in the missiles, man. It's going to be too late. But anyways, as birds fly, man. As birds flying, that's how the Lord is going to defend Jerusalem. And that's going into the UFOs, as they call them on this side. But we don't know it. as chariots, the chariots of Israel, the salvation of Israel. Right? That's what the Lord is going to use to get us up out of here. The elect, whoever those men are. Okay? So he was talking about the trajectory of this of the angels, right? So let's get Ezekiel 1. Because it's right there in Ezekiel. Let's drop down to 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind. A whirlwind came out of the north, and a great cloud, and the fire enfolding itself. So that's the angels, right? That's the so-called UFO, the chariot of our Lord, the chariot of Israel. So Ezekiel saw the fire, which represents what the light that he had, that the UFO, the angel, had beaming off of the chariot, and the brightness was about it, right? And out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, orange, right? Out of the midst of the fire, also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and one had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, because this is what the likeness of the angels really look like, right? When they don't take men, the shape of men, right? And they have a special spirit that they have on them, man. Just like how whenever a lion comes around, you know what time it is, right? The angels have the same kind of presence, right? That's the reason why men fell on their face whenever they come around, because you never know what can happen. And therefore, and their feet were straight. Okay, what did I read? And this was the appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. Okay? So they were very dark. So the sole of their feet was like calf's foot. So what Ezekiel saw, he didn't really see their legs. He just saw their foot, because they were wearing clothes, right? Garments all the way down to the foot, right? And they had the hands of a man under their wings, and on their 4 sides, they had their faces and their wings. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went everyone straight forward. So when they were walking, they didn't have to turn anywhere, man. They just move. Okay? That they were gliding or something. Because, they were flying. So Ezekiel was here looking at these angels, and they were just doing their thing. As for the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man, and the face of a lion, and the face of, on the right side, so and the 4 had the face of an ox on the left side. So, in order for a creature to have four faces, it has to be a big creature, man. So that's what these angels represent. And the word, don't get trapped with the word creature, because creature just means anything created or created, right? We are creatures. Everything that the Lord created that has life is a creature, mainly the animals. They also, they 4 also had the face of an eagle, right? Thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched forward. 2 wings of every one were joined one to another, and 2 covered their bodies. And they went, everyone straight forward with the spirit, with where the spirit was to go. They went, and they turned not when they went. So this is the reason why you have when these Edomites and these planes see the angels The angels don't have to turn. The UFOs don't have to turn to move like how they have to turn to move. They just move, right? And because of the spirit, it's controlled by the mind. It's not controlled by no damn steering wheels and all that. Okay? And they don't have no, like this guy said, there's no exhaust behind them. Can't follow them. You just go. It's all energy. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and the appearance of lamps. It went up and down among the living creatures. And the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. Now, as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth, and the living creatures with the four faces. The appearance of the wheel and their work was like unto the color of beryl, and they had 4 in one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel within a wheel. So he described what he saw, right? It's like 2 rings around each other, right? One within each other. So pretty much an oval shape at the top and a round shape at the bottom. Okay, so it looks like a wheel within a wheel. And and when they went up the 4 sides, and they turned not where they went. As for the rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and the rings were full of eyes round about them 4. So what Ezekiel saw was what we call bulbs these days, right? So that's what he said, the eyes, because that's the only thing he's not going to say bulbs, right? He's not going to say glass or whatever, the words that we use now, the terms that we use now, because bulbs weren't a thing back then. So what he was looking at was lights and bulbs all around the UFO. Okay, and when the living creature went, the wheels went by them, and when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up, right? So wherever the creatures went, that's where the UFO went, because they're connected to them. But that's wherever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was the spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up and over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels, right? So they didn't need anything else. Like how we have now your car. It's like having a car now, and the car just follows you wherever you went, right? If you have that, just for an example, if you have that, a car and you're one with your car, it's just like a shadow, okay? I'm going to make an example of the shadow. Wherever your shadow goes, that's where you go. Or wherever you go, the shadow go, okay? So that's the closest analogy for you to get how they're connected to their ships, right? When they went, these went, and when they stood, these stood, and when they were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, right? For the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels, and the likeness of the likeness of the firmament upon the head of the living creature was the color of the terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above. And under the firmament was their wings straight, and one toward the other. Everyone had 2, which covered on the side, and everyone had 2, which covered on that side, their bodies. And when they went, I heard the noise of their wings, like the noise of a great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, and a voice of speech, as the noise of an host. When they stood, they let down their wings. So that's how loud these things are when they take off, man. And there was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads when they stood, and had let down their wings. And above the firmament was that over their heads, and was like the likeness of throne, and the appearance of a sapphire stone. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness of the appearance of a man upon it, right? And I saw as the color of amber as the appearance of the fire round about within, and the parent of his loins even upward, and the parent of his loins even downward. Okay, so they had on garments, and I saw it was the appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about, as the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rainbow, in the day of rain, Salakia. So was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. And I saw it, and it fell upon my face, and I heard the voice of one that spake. So that's what these Edomites are going to have to go up against, okay? These are the angels. They're not UFOs, okay? That you people like to call them. They're not little green men with big ass heads and big ass eyes. They're black men and women, okay? So it says here Lamentation 5. Let me see what's in Lamentation 5 before I go. Verse of aliens. No. Anyway, man, Shalom.